You guys ready? Good evening. You're attending a session of the City of Jacksonville Beach Board of Adjustments. The Board of Adjustments meetings are quasi-judicial in nature. All decisions of the board will be based on competent, substantial evidence, including testimony provided in this meeting. Any person who is not an applicant or agent that wishes to speak will need to fill out a speaker's card located on the side table by the door and turn them in to the clerk. Each member of the public will be given 3 minutes to speak on each item. Please refrain from speaking from the audience, and applause or cheering will not be allowed. Please silence your cell phones. Can we have a roll call, please?
John Moreland.
Here.
Owen Curley.
Here.
Jeff Trular. Matt Metz.
Here.
Laura Tierney. Douglas Dell.
Here. Okay, next on our agenda is the approval of minutes. We have the board minutes from October 7th, 2025. Is there a motion?
I so move.
Second.
Okay, so moved and seconded. All in favor of approving the minutes?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, the minutes have been approved. Do we have any correspondence? No? 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 Correspondence? No. Okay, no correspondence. No old business. On to the new business. Can we call our first case, please?
The board calls case number BOA 25-100080, property address 608 15th Avenue South. Motions to consider sections 34-612 Echo 1 Charlie 3 for a rear yard setback of 20 feet in lieu of 30 feet to extend the rear of the dwelling in order to construct a master bedroom at an existing family home located at property address 608 15th Avenue South.
Okay, as a reminder, each member of the public will be given 3 minutes to speak when we open the public hearing. Does any board member have any ex parte communication?
I've had none.
I've had none.
I've had none.
And I've had none. Would the applicant please come forward to be sworn in and give their presentation?
Please raise your right hand. State your name and address.
Laurie Dugan, 608 15th Avenue South, Jacksonville Beach, Florida.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please proceed.
As I mentioned, I want to do a variance on the setback. The hardship is I'm pre-existing non-conforming lot, like most are in Jack's Beach. It's only 6,200 square feet. And secondly, my house is only a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom house. I still work. I use the second bedroom as my office. Recently, my son had to move back home. He is doing a career change. He's going back to school, getting his master's, perhaps his doctorate. He's going to work with autistic children, so he's going to be here for several years. I need another bedroom. I just don't have one for him. So I wanted to build a master bedroom on the back, and this was the least costly, the smallest way to add it, and the least invasive on the neighborhood. The way that I've got it sketched out in the back, you'll see that on the back of the plan. There are no windows on the back, so there's no sight into any neighborhood, any lots behind me. The only windows would be the window directly to my neighbor to my left and directly to my neighbor to my right. And I am on a corner lot, so there is a street between us on one and a fence on the other. And they actually both have fences.
Okay. Did you talk to your neighbors about this?
I talked to a couple of the neighbors, and they approved, and I think one is here to disagree.
Okay. All right. Does any board members have any questions?
Can you tell us a little bit about the front of the home? I'm looking at the survey and just want to confirm. It looks like in the front there may be a public walkway and how that relates to your property, and in the back there may be a sort of a public access road on the back, how that relates to your property.
There is a 10-foot easement on the back, so there's already an easement right there. So on the front, there is a sidewalk on the front, which is not halfway, goes through half of the yard. There's only 4 feet in the front that I could. My first goal was to extend the garage. The builder said you can't do that. You only have 4 feet in the front, so we can't use the garage. You're going to have to go back or go up. But we're not altering the front of the house, other than maybe putting in pavers and residing the house. When all this is finished, I'm going to reside and landscape the home. But So it should be a nice addition of an improvement for the neighborhood, but we're really not making any changes to the front.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, ma'am, you can step back, please. I will now open the public hearing. Do we have any speakers cards?
We do. We have a speaker card for Bunny Hoyle, address 531 16th Avenue South.
Hey there, I'm Bunny
Please
Hoyle.
raise your right hand. State your name and address.
Bunny Hoyle, 531 16th Avenue South.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do. Thank you. My only opposition on this is the drainage. We have bad drainage on 16th Avenue South and 6th Street. Recently, 6th Street was redone for the third time, which caused further drainage problems. We've always had drainage problems on 16th Avenue South and 6th Street. So I'm wondering where, when the setback happens, when they build, where's this drainage going to go? Are we going to, is it good? I mean, we're already having a problem in the yard, so I'm wondering where the water's going to go. I don't know if the builder has put anything in the plans to maybe drain it out to 15th Avenue South, since I think there are curbs out there, if I'm correct. And the only other thing I have is privacy. However, Mrs. Dugan and I talked, and she did state, as she told you, that there were no windows on, there were not going to be any windows on the south side. So privacy was an issue for me, but drainage is the biggest issue.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Any more speakers cards?
No.
Any correspondence? Would the applicant please come forward if you would like and address the concerns of Ms. Hoyle?
Sorry, the microphone is muted.
You got it.
I appreciated her concerns. I've lived there for 8 years now. And I've never had a drainage problem in my yard, so I'm not quite sure what she's talking about. I'm the other side of 16th, I'm on 15th, so I've never had any water, standing water in my yard, but maybe my yard's higher than hers, I don't know.
Any questions
No.
based on that? Okay, you can step back. Okay, I will now close the public hearing and bring the item back to the board. Is there a motion?
I make a motion to approve BOA number 25-10080 based on the substantial competent evidence presented in the staff report and all relevant testimony presented at this hearing, and that the motion meets all the standards for a variance as outlined in section 34-572 of the Jacksonville Beach Land Development Code.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
One of the board members had a concern with the side yard setbacks.
Yeah.
After reviewing with staff, since they're not encroaching on that side and they're still staying consistent with how the house already is, they're able to keep the nonconformity as long as they're not expanding into it or doing anything into it.
Okay.
Thank you. I would say the lot, as presented by the staff, is unique in that it is a corner lot. It has an existing structure with existing nonconformities to be addressed. Appreciate the personal situation that the resident is in, but we'll highlight, as a board, we will consider the lot as itself independent from the ownership or current circumstance. That being said, as indicated by the applicant, the request here is for a rear yard setback. The request is in a 10-foot increment. On the back of that lot is an easement of 10 feet. So consistent with the distance expected for most rear yards, that would remain a privacy buffer from the rear neighbor. So in that regard, this lot is unique and that the setback request is not as big of a reach. Also, as a corner yard lot, there is a bigger requirement on a side yard setback than a typical lot, which further restricts the applicant's ability to extend the property in multiple directions. Additionally, if you look at the front yard, there's a sidewalk for public walkway across the yard that comes quite deep toward the front of the property, which would further restrict the applicant's potential use of the front of the property without engaging the public in undesirable fashion. All of that stated and consistent with staff recommendation. I'd like to acknowledge the concerns from the public regarding drainage. I definitely appreciate that circumstance. I live in a nearby area within South Jacks Beach. It is a hill. Water runs down the hill from the 6th block to the 5th block. It runs down. On the majority of the blocks, the sewer access is on 5th, so that does end up being a low point. In this circumstance, the request being addressed is not regarding drainage. The drainage, as outlined in the code, is specific to a 50% lot coverage. The applicant would remain below that lot coverage. From a drainage perspective, as a board member, I don't feel confident in voting specific to that, as that's not a variance request. That's currently what's being requested, sits within the existing code, and the building department would inspect any building with regard to the water runoff plan that has to be part of that build. All of that considered, I would suggest that we approve based off of the items that we have to consider and the recognition that this is a unique lot with the easement on the rear of the lot and the constraint relative to being a corner lot on the side yard and existing nonconformities of the structure.
I would just add that I appreciate Ms. Hoyle coming to speak to us today about her concerns. And that area, flooding is always a concern in that area. But given the size of the existing wooden deck that's going to be partially removed to accommodate this, and the inconsistency or the non-conforming nature of the lot, and everything that Matt just said, I think that this is not going to be one of those situations that contributes greatly to the flooding. And I think that there is still plenty of earth to absorb the water there between that's going to remain. Anybody else?
I think Matt's analysis was thorough, and yeah, I concur with that.
Okay, can we get a vote, please?
John Moreland,
Yes.
Matt Metz,
Yes.
Douglas Dell,
Yes.
Owen Curley.
Yes, your request for variance has been approved. Okay, can we call the next case, please?
The board calls case number BOA 25-100081, property address 620 South Lower 8th Avenue. Motions to consider 34-612 Echo 1 Charlie 3 for a rear yard setback of 28.9 feet in lieu of 30 feet minimum. 34-612 Echo 1 Charlie 3 for a rear yard covered lanai setback of 19.6 feet in lieu of 20 feet minimum. 34-612 Echo 1 Echo for 40.4% primary structure and required driveway lot coverage in lieu of 35% maximum to demolish current garage and construct a new single-family dwelling at property address 620 South Lower 8th Avenue.
Okay, just a reminder, each member of the public will be given 3 minutes to speak when we open the public hearing. Does any board member have any ex parte communication?
I've had none.
I've had none.
I've had none.
I've had none. Would the applicant please come forward to be sworn in and give their presentation?
Please raise your right hand, state your name and address.
Trevor Moody, 1634 Benton Drive South.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
All right. Thank you for seeing this today, Board of Adjustments. So I am a purchaser of a lot that had an existing two-car derelict garage on 620 Lower 8th Ave South. Since then, we got a building or a demo permit. We tore down the garage. It was infested with termites. The roof was caving in. It was attached to a previous lot. The homeowner subdivided it before I bought it, and then I bought it off the market. So we are looking to build a two-story house on that lot. It is a non-conforming lot at 5,000 square feet. I believe the RS2 requirements for that is 7,000 square feet or 6,000, one of the two. But it's a 50 by 100 lot, so it's very difficult to squeeze any sort of house in there with a two-car garage. We looked at doing permeable pavers. We got some bids on doing that to try to reduce the total lot coverage. The bid came in about 4 times more expensive than doing concrete out to the roadway. So we had to put the variance in for that. We also explored moving the house forward, but then that would encroach into the front yard setback to meet the rear yard setback. So it seemed like the least obtrusive option is just maintain the front yard setback, maintain the side yard setbacks, and then I believe we still have 28.9 feet to the rear of the yard where 30 feet is required.
Okay, any questions? Oh, have you talked to the neighbors about this?
I have. I've talked to the adjacent neighbor right next door. He's a former paratrooper, sniper, great guy. Lived there for a while. Glad to see the derelict garage being torn down. Talked to the lady across the street. She's very happy that the garage is getting torn down. Didn't want homeless people staying in the garage, since it was not attached to the previous lot where the old lady lived before. So the neighbors I've spoke to are very happy with it, and they're seeing progress in the neighborhood.
Any questions? Questions? Okay, you can step back.
All right.
Do we have any speakers cards?
None.
Any correspondence? No?
Nope.
Okay. I will now close the public hearing and bring the item back to the board for discussion. Is there a motion?
I make a motion to approve BOA number 25-100081 based on the substantial competent evidence presented in the staff report and all relevant testimony presented at this hearing, and that the motion meets all the standards for a variance as outlined in section 34-572 of the Jacksonville Beach Land Development Code.
Second.
Okay, it's moved and seconded. Any discussion?
As the applicant stated, it's an undersized lot. He's got 5,000 square feet on what a minimum would be 6,000 square feet. The setback requests are very minimal, within roughly a foot in either direction. And the primary structure request at 40.4% still is below what he would get if the lot was 6,000 feet in terms of square foot coverage. I think that meets all the conditions that we would typically review.
I agree. Anybody else?
I couldn't have put it better.
Okay. Can we have a roll call, please? Vote.
Matt Metz,
Yes.
John Moreland,
Yes.
Douglas Dow,
Yes.
Owen Curley.
Yes. Okay, your request for a variance has been approved.
Thank you.
Okay, planning department report.
Next meeting's November 4th. We won't have any items on that one. Possibly we might have one on November 18th from the one that got deferred. We didn't see them today due to them not meeting with us to come talk on the 4th. So maybe we're still waiting on the response for the 18th. Other than that, we're pretty free for the rest of the year unless something new comes in.
Wow.
Next meeting was supposed to be November 4th, and then the one after that was supposed to be November 18th. And the next one after that is 2 weeks from that date, so like December 2nd or something like
So
that.
we're definitely meeting on the 4th? Or?
No.
No, we're not.
No 4th. 18th is tentative. By the end of the week, you should know if you're going to be on the 18th. Other than that, the next meetings are December.
Okay.
But
I'm going to be gone from the 18th of November to like 10th of December.
okay, no problem. It looks like nothing's been really coming in anyway, so it looks like our next meeting might be in January. So
Wow.
we're kind of slowing down, but yeah, that's it.
Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. And now my favorite, courtesy of the Florida visitors. Anyone? Anyone? Bueller? Okay. That's right. Yes. Even the police officer fell asleep. They refused to come. Okay. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Okay. So moved, seconded. All in favor?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you all.